It's one of my favourite scents ever, actually. But there are some things that are just too similar. I'm really invested. Poppy's gonna go fuck shit up. Hello, I'm Lizzie and this is Lizzie Reads. And I don't know if I've already introduced this vlog, but I'm gonna start again. So, welcome to my A Shadow in the Ember by Jennifer L. Armentrout reading vlog. This is going to be spoiler free for this book, but I may have spoilers for the rest of the prequel series. If you didn't already know, A Shadow in the Ember is a series about the god Nyktos, who features in the From Blood and Ash series. I love the From Blood and Ash series. I read it for the first time this January and have since reread the first two books 3 times each, and then the last book twice, because the last book came out in March. And then I recently just did the full, reread the full series back to back again in preparation for this, because I wanted to have a really good idea of what I was links that to be made basically. And this is about the god Nyktos, and I believe his consort, who is another god, his lady, his fancy lady. And I'm expecting something super raunchy. I'm expecting super fun, I'm hoping it's similar, but I'm also hoping there's some distinct differences. I hope that Poppy and the main character are not, Poppy from Blood and Ash and this main character are not the same. It's got a beautiful map, although I love Poppy and I love that kind of character. I just really hope there is some differences between them. Yeah, I love this map. It's also the 30th of October, so it is nearly Halloween, so I'm really excited. But yeah, I did try to read this. It's been out for a week and a half, but I haven't got around to it yet, and I've just been a bit frazzled. So I think I'm going to start this now in the bath and read as much of it as I can, and then see how I get on. It would be great to read as much of it now, you know, a good sort of 50-60 pages, and see if there's any sprints on, because I like sprints. And I'm going to have a Snow Fairy bath bomb, and then, because I bought this today, because it's if you're in the UK or have a Lush, I think Lush is UK only, Snow Fairy's back. It's one of my favourite scents ever, actually. So pretty. One of my favourite scents, and it smells so good. Let's see. Some picture. If you've never seen it. Oh god, this is so pretty. Look at those scabby nails. But I will be putting that in the bath, and then having to clean the bath after I finish, I expect, because I'll have glittery hands. What are you gonna do? So let's talk about my initial thoughts then. I actually managed to get to page 120? No, 116. Yeah, I managed to get to page 116 and I had a lot of thoughts. Let's start with the fact that there are some things that are just too similar. There are some things that are really similar so far, and I was a bit oh god, this is, you know, a bit annoying. I was finding that a little bit annoying, down to some of the language that they were using, when Sarah is well, her name's Seraphina, so Sarah is flirting with the god who I assume will later reveal himself to be Nyktos or something. When Sarah is flirting, they say things are inappropriate. That's so inappropriate, which is something that Kat and Poppy say to each other all the time, and that just felt like that doesn't need to match. That doesn't need to be similar. There are some things that it's nice to see that, you know, there's a fight there, so Sarah's quite feisty, and you know, obviously Poppy's very feisty, but some of their situations are too mirrored, and hopefully as we get to know Nyctos a little bit more, he's not the exact same as Castile. I mean, I love Castile, but I kind of want some differences. I think I want something to be different. Although the like mysterious element of it is quite interesting so far, and I do like the actual plot. The plot. Who thought I was going to be here for the plot? I didn't. But I'm really enjoying it. Again, it's a very fast-paced read. I read like 120 nearly pages in that time that I was in the bath, and yeah, I just found it really fast-paced, easy to read. I could have sat and read more, but I'd need to get out of the bath. So I don't think I'm going to pick some up straight away, obviously for me, not for you, because I want to listen to some of the audiobook of the book that I was reading before this, Space and Animal Crossing, but I may read some more of this tonight if possible. But I do really like it. I think it's really fun, and yeah, I'm quite intrigued so far. I think it's going to be really good. So it's been quite some time since I last updated, but I just thought I'd say I'm up on page 451, and I kind of feel much the same. There are elements of this that I am just obsessed with, and I can't stop thinking about. So good. I think I'm reading it really slow because I don't want it to end, and I'm obsessed with this world. But there are some things that are just too similar, and like phrasings that are repeated, and the occasional Easter egg is obviously good, great, like phrasing Easter egg. Obviously there are lots of Easter eggs because it's related, and things are starting to make a little bit of sense, which is really good. But yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, there are some things that are just a little bit too close for comfort. I just thought that I would update you in the moment because I have just finished A Shadow in the Ember, and I really, really like the ending, and I'm loving the story, where the story's going, and at the moment I'm thinking I currently just want to know what happens next, more so than I do with what's going to happen in A War of Two Queens. Like, I'm more concerned about what's going to happen. I think it's because the relationship between Sarah and Nyctos is not developed. Obviously there's nothing that, like, we know what's going to happen in the end, but like at the moment I don't know how we're going to get there because of everything that's happened. Whereas I think kind of like in the War of Two Queens, like I just very much know that Poppy's gonna find Cass, Poppy's gonna fuck shit up, and they're gonna be happy together. But they're already married, so you know. But at the moment I'm really invested. However, I just feel a little bit annoyed that it seems to be a little bit too recycled. But I will update you properly in the morning with some proper in-depth thoughts. But this is just my instant reaction. So, I've actually been sitting on my thoughts for this book for a good few days now. It's actually Friday, the day that this is going up, fingers crossed. Overall, I would say to someone, oh, I love this book, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the relationship between Nyctos and Sarah. I liked some of the side characters. Again, I feel like side characters wouldn't be developed fully until book 2, kind of in a similar way to from Blood and Ash, where the side characters just come into their own. There's some real good twists in the second half, and I like the way that when things are revealed, the way that Sarah and Nyctos react to each other, and the way that they're they go about things. I think, you know, in terms of like spiciness, it was, you know, it was good. It wasn't. It's a bit complicated because of the complicated nature between Niktos and Sarah's relationship, and how sort of like they're both holding back in certain ways, and there's lots of things between them which I won't spoil here, that I just think are unresolved or like aren't even like gone into yet. And I know there's so much more to come, and because of obviously fully reading the current From Blood and Ash books that are out, I know what's going to happen. Well, I mean, there's not much room for movement there, but I do think it's really fun. But as I said throughout this video, the reason I couldn't update much, there isn't many updates, is because A, I was ill, but B, it was fun, it was enjoyable, I liked the romance, I was rooting for them, I enjoyed the mysterious sides of the plot, but some of it felt very recycled. And I know that Jennifer L. Armentrout does turn out at least 2 chunky, massive books like this a year, so obviously things are going to be recycled, but I just wish there was something different about it, because I was really hoping that Jennifer L. Armentrout was going to become a favourite author of mine, but I haven't read any of her other series, so I was hoping that it would give me the same feelings and similar vibes, but like with some real stark differences that made it a wholly different, or like a completely different novel. But there was just too many similarities. Not to say I didn't give it 4 stars, because I 100% did, and I would say it was one of the books I enjoyed the most reading out of the year. But there's just an element of me being disappointed, because I loved From Blood and Ash so much. I love Crown of Goody Bones and A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, I just don't see anything topping it. It's going to be my favourite book of the year, just because it's really changed the way I feel about romance, and especially like this series and Jennifer L. Armentrout's writing kind of brought me into the romance genre this year, and I'm very grateful for that. I think that I know it's obviously fancy romance, but like I've really like moved past that, and I'm starting to really explore the genre, and I'm really happy about that. And I do think that the From Blood and Ash series really did contribute to that, and I think that's why I had such high hopes for this. It was disappointing. It was just, there were some similarities that I just wish were different. So I think that's an expectation thing, and it is difficult, because it's like, do you compare it to the other novels? Are they going to be similar? Some of the similarities and the little references were nice, but sometimes I felt like it was a little bit too much. But again, like I said at the end, my last final clip, I do feel like at the moment I want to know what happens more here in this series, and what's going to happen with Sarah and Niktos, because I know what's going to happen. Like, I know I don't know. It's interesting. It's funny actually you should say this, because I actually know what's going to happen here, or I know what the extent of Poppy and Cass's knowledge of Niktos and his consort is. So I know pretty much where this is going to end up. This series would end. I imagine it's going to have some twists, obviously, there has been some twists on what we thought was the case, and obviously things are very different, which is good, which was very, very good. But I feel like with like Poppy and Cass, like the next book is very predictable to me. Like, I know that, like I said, that Poppy's going to go fuck shit up, and she's gonna find Cass, and they're gonna you know, like from like I know what's gonna happen. Obviously I know that she's so good at cliffhangers and like chapter cliffhangers and things like that, and lots of things going on that does throw you for a loop. But I just feel like, because this is in the early stages of the series, I want to know more what's happening with the plot, rather than being invested in the characters, kind of thing. So which is weird, like I said. And sometimes I felt like the chapter breaks in here were weird. Felt like there were too many of them, but that's just, I don't know if it was just me picking up on things that don't need to be picked up on. But yes, so that's me loving this. Sorry, just checking my time to make sure I don't have to go back to work. And hopefully, if you are yet to read this, let me know what you think. If you've read anything in the series or anything else by Jennifer Armentrout, let me know. And yeah, I look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye.